-$400. No job, 3 months. And an eviction notice that means you have exactly 3 days before you're on the street.
You've read it twice, 3 times. The words don't change. Eviction. The countdown is real, and you have absolutely nothing left.
No savings, no credit, no family, no friends. Every card is maxed. Every option is closed. You are, by every measurable standard, done. You open the mailbox, just one envelope. No stamp, no address, no name. Heavy for something so small. You open it anyway, because what do you have to lose? One card inside. The words are simple. Purpose and prosperity await if you give yourself up completely. Send a message to this number if you are ready. You stare at it for a long time. This is insane. It's probably a scam. It's probably nothing. But you look at your bank account, -$400. And you make a decision. You send the message, 3 words, I am ready. And then you put the phone down, lie on the floor, and somehow fall asleep. No bed, no blanket, just the floor and the weight of everything you've lost. You sleep the sleep of someone with nothing left to protect. Level 1, the broken recruit.
This is where your story begins. Not with strength, not with a plan, with desperation. With 3 days and a mysterious card and absolutely nothing left to lose.
You wake up. There's an email. Goldman Sachs, junior analyst. Start tomorrow. You didn't apply. You don't have a finance degree. You've never worked in banking. But your name is on the offer.
You show up. Because what else are you gonna do? You stand outside and look up at the building and you think, this is impossible. And you walk in anyway.
Your desk is surrounded by reports you don't understand, charts that mean nothing to you. You have no idea what you're doing. None. And then your phone buzzes. Unknown number. The message is specific, precise. Which reports to read, which meetings to attend, which executives to impress. You follow every instruction exactly. And it works. 6 months in, you're presenting in meetings. People listen. You sound like you know what you're talking about because someone is telling you exactly what to say, and no one knows. Your coworkers hate you. They think you're a kiss-up. They think you got lucky. They have no idea that you're being managed by something none of them can see. 1 year in, promoted. The certificate feels real. The achievement feels real. But you know who gave it to you. And that knowledge sits underneath the pride like a stone. $300,000 a year. You stare at the number. It's real. It's yours. But late at night, your phone buzzes again. And the message is cold. You buy the car, the watch, the apartment in Manhattan. You are thriving. By every visible measure, you made it. And then the message comes. Remember who built you. Remember who owns you. You read it twice. Put the phone down, look out the window, and for the first time, you understand the real price of what you accepted. You sit with that message for a long time. The comfort is real. The money is real. But so is this. You are not free. You never were. You were recruited. Level 2, the Apprentice complete. You get an invitation. A charity gala. The Plaza Hotel. Black tie. Your name is on the list even though you have no business being there. You go. Because the phone told you to. The room is full of power. Senators, CEOs, old money that has existed for generations before you were born. And your job tonight is simple. Mingle, listen, observe. You meet a congressman's daughter, 26, Harvard Law. She likes you. You smile the right way. You say the right things. And behind your eyes, you are recording everything. Coffee, then drinks, then dinner. She talks. You listen. About her father's work, the bills he's pushing, the donors pressuring him. Every word she says, you file away. That night, you write it all down. Every detail, every name, every pressure point. And you feel something shift inside you. Something that used to feel wrong now feels like work. You report it all back. The unknown number replies immediately. Good work. We are very impressed. And then the next instruction arrives. Attend this event. Befriend this person. We are very impressed. You read it again. Something in you registers the praise, and something else registers what you did to earn it. You push the second thing down. Keep going. You're not just gathering information anymore. You're a node in a network, a web that reaches senators, judges, CEOs, and media executives. And you are at the center. Event after event, person after person, you learn how to be invisible, how to be in a room of powerful people and leave no impression except a friendly face they vaguely remember. You check the corridor is empty. You type the message. You pocket the phone. This is your life now, moving in shadow, speaking in code, and building a network for someone you've never met. Level 3, the spy. Complete. Vice President of Investment Strategy, Goldman Sachs. Your own office, your own team. A view of the city from 40 stories up. You have arrived, and everyone can see it. Except what brought you here. The phone never stops now. Buy before the announcement. Sell before the crash. Steer this deal toward this outcome. You are not a banker. You are an instrument. And you are being played. You execute the trades exactly as instructed, exactly when instructed. Surrounded by brilliant analysts who believe they are in a fair market. They have no idea what you are doing. You make a recommendation in a meeting. The room follows it because you're always right. They think you're gifted. They think you can read the market like no one else. The truth is simpler and darker. 3 days later, the market moves exactly as predicted. $100 million. The firm celebrates. You watch the number and feel nothing. You already knew. $2 million. Your cut. You hold the number and wait to feel something. Pride, joy, guilt. You feel efficiency. That's all. The humanity is becoming quieter. You engineered a crash last week. Billions shifted. Thousands of people lost their retirement savings. Real people with names and families and plans. You watched from a distance and felt nothing. You slept fine. That's the part that should scare you. That doesn't. Bentley. Penthouse in Malibu. Davos invitation on the way. You walk past the car and don't even look at it anymore. These things have become ordinary. That's what power does. It normalizes the extraordinary. Davos, the World Economic Forum, where the most powerful people on Earth gather publicly to discuss the future. You've been invited, which means you're now operating at a level most people don't know exists.
Level 4, the Insider, complete.
A phone call, not a text this time. The voice is old, authoritative. It carries a weight that makes you sit up before you realize you're doing it. You've been selected for a new assignment. Politics. $15 million. Untraceable. Wire transfer confirmed. You read the number. Close the laptop. This is the largest single amount you've ever received. It feels like nothing. That tells you everything.
Senator Richard Ashford,
12-year incumbent. He knows exactly who sent you. He's been one of them for years. You shake hands, and neither of you smiles. This is business.
You rebuild his campaign from the ground up. You hire the best consultants, buy every television market, and you dig. Because in politics, the cleanest weapon is the dirtiest secret.
An affair 20 years ago, buried. A drunk driving arrest that never made it to court. You read the file without judgment. These aren't people to you anymore. They're variables.
You leak it to the press. One call, one document, and you watch the opponent's world collapse in real time. You did this with a phone call and a piece of paper.
The news runs it for 2 weeks straight. The opponent is destroyed, not defeated, destroyed. And you watch from your hotel room in Columbus and feel the quiet satisfaction of engineering an outcome. Election night. Ashford wins by a landslide. The room celebrates. You stand in the middle of it and feel nothing. Because this was never a contest. You decided the winner months ago. 2 weeks later, another name, then another. Florida, Nevada, Texas, Georgia, Michigan. You're not running one campaign. You're running 6 simultaneously. You are a ghost that shapes governments. You look at the map and you see what you've built. A network of installed politicians who owe their careers to you, which means they owe their careers to the Illuminati. The map is your work. The country is your canvas. Level 5, the ghost, complete. You're not writing speeches anymore. You're writing law, tax codes, voting guidelines, energy regulations. The words you put on paper tonight will become the rules that govern millions of lives. And no one knows your name. You watch the president sign your bill into law. His hand, your words. His face on every news channel. Your fingerprints on nothing. This is how real power works. Invisible and total. The flow is simple once you understand it. You write it. They introduce it. It passes. The Illuminati profits. The cycle repeats. You found the operating system of civilization, and you have root access. You travel in black cars with tinted windows. You arrive at buildings through back entrances. You eat in private rooms. Your entire existence has migrated from public to shadow. You are comfortable here now. A compound in Montana. Your first in-person meeting. You walk through gates and know that what's inside this room will be unlike anything you've experienced before. 12 people around a table. You recognize 3, a former Secretary of State, a tech billionaire, and a media mogul who controls what half the country believes is true. They don't introduce themselves. They don't need to. They tell you you've done excellent work. They tell you you're ready for the next phase, international operations. And you sit in that room, surrounded by people who move the world. And you realize you belong here now.
You walk back through the compound gates, and something has permanently changed. You've been recognized by the 12. You are no longer an instrument being played. You are a player. You put your hand on the globe, and you feel it. Not as a symbol, as a fact. Parts of this world move because of decisions you make. That is not a metaphor. That is your reality. Billions of people wake up every morning. They eat breakfast, go to work, follow the news, make their plans, and they have absolutely no idea that the framework of their reality is being managed from rooms they don't know exist.
Level 6, the Puppet Master. Complete.
You're not in finance anymore. You're not in politics. You're in intelligence. A country is causing problems. The president is nationalizing oil assets. He's threatening to deal with China. This is unacceptable. 10 million to opposition groups. 5 million to military generals willing to defect. 2 million to journalists to control the narrative. You don't negotiate with governments. You replace them. The president is a position on a chart. You draw an X through it, and then you design what replaces it. A leader who has been on your payroll for 3 years and doesn't yet know it's time to act. You watch the protests unfold on the news, the food shortages you arranged, the supply chain disruptions you coordinated, the president looking weak and isolated. Everything proceeding exactly as designed. You make the call to the general. He answers on the first ring. He's been waiting. The conversation is brief. The transfer is confirmed. History is about to change. And it cost you a phone call. 6 months after you drew an X on a chart, the president is gone. A coup. He fled the country. A new leader is in power, one who owes you everything. You close the laptop. Next. $30 billion in wealth transferred. Entire sectors of an economy now flowing in a new direction. You look at the numbers and you think, this is just one country. You have 6 more active operations right now. You are not a spy. You are a coordinator of chaos. You don't need to be in the field. You don't need to carry a weapon. You make phone calls. You move money. And countries change. CIA, MI6, Mossad. You don't work for these agencies. They work alongside you. Your position in the hierarchy sits above the institutions most people think are the most powerful forces on Earth. Late at night, you sit alone and look at the map, the connections, the operations, the faces of people you've never met, whose lives you've permanently altered. And for a brief moment, you feel it. The weight. Level 7, the Shadow. Complete. Supreme Magus. You have a title within the Order now. One of the 12. A near mythological position within a structure that most people believe is a conspiracy theory. And you sit at its table. Your island compound in the Caribbean. Not a vacation home, a facility. You stand at the dock and survey it. The buildings,
the security, the infrastructure. You own this. All of it. Presidents, billionaires. They come to your island for the parties, the luxury, the exclusivity, the feeling of being truly among equals. They relax, they talk, they indulge. And you record everything. Every conversation captured, every compromising moment documented, every dark indulgence recorded from multiple angles. They don't know. Or perhaps worse, some of them suspect and come anyway. You have footage on a former head of state, 3 sitting senators, 2 federal judges, a Supreme Court justice, a tech founder worth $300 billion. These people are yours forever. You don't threaten them directly. You never have to. You simply place a folder on the table and leave. The conversation happens inside their own mind, and it's far more effective than anything you could say. Votes pass unanimously. Laws change overnight. Deals are approved that analysts can't explain. The invisible leverage of recorded secrets is the most efficient governing tool ever devised. A journalist in Miami is asking questions about your island, about the flight logs, about the guests. It's nothing serious. Not yet. But it's a crack. And you've learned, cracks grow. One phone call, the editor kills the story. The journalist is reassigned. The questions stop. You've done this before. It takes less effort each time. Suppressing truth has become routine. FBI opens a preliminary inquiry. You read the notification. Exhale. One message sent. The agent leading the inquiry is reassigned within 48 hours. Protected. For now. Level 8. The Supreme Magus. Complete. Palm Beach Mansion. Staff. Private chef. A security team of 12. You've forgotten what it feels like to carry your own bags. You've forgotten what it feels like to worry about money. You barely remember the -400. A company won't cooperate. They won't adopt the policies the order requires. You don't ask twice. You make calls. Their stock collapses over 72 hours. Their loans are called in. Their reputation destroyed. 1 month later, their executives are in your lobby requesting a meeting. You let them wait 40 minutes. Then you see them. They are broken. They will accept any terms. You slide the terms across the table. They sign without fully reading. You watch them sign and you think, this is what power actually is. Not force, not threat, just the slow, patient application of consequence. A politician is resisting. He's vocal. He's principled. He's planning to go public with what he knows. You don't debate him. You send a folder. No message, just the evidence. He changes his vote the next day, publicly attributes it to new information. His principle lasted until he understood what you held. It always does. The gatherings at your mansion. These are where the real decisions happen. Not in parliament, not in boardrooms. Here, in your living room, over your wine. The future is planned where the cameras don't go. You know they're watching your house. Federal agents, building a case. You stand at the window and look directly at their position and think, you have a judge, 2 prosecutors, and a department director. You are untouchable. The protection network runs 4 layers deep. Judges, prosecutors, agency directors, congressional oversight chairs. They all owe you something. The case against you will never reach a courtroom. The world spins into chaos around you. Markets crash, governments fall, people panic, and you stand at the center of it all, still, composed, untouched, because you designed the chaos. You are the calm inside the storm you built.
Level 9, the Architect, complete.
A country needs a loan. You sit across from their finance ministers and you smile. The smile of someone who is giving them exactly what they need. And exactly what will eventually destroy them. They refuse your conditions. They push the document back and stand firm, proud, sovereign, principled. You pick up the document, give a single signal as you leave, and begin the process. Their currency crashes within 60 days. Food prices triple. Unemployment spikes to levels that create civil unrest. You didn't fire a single weapon. You adjusted some financial variables. That's all. They come back, humiliated, desperate. They will sign anything now. You place the document on the table with new conditions added. They don't negotiate. They accept. You've just enslaved an entire nation, economically speaking. You look at the world map. 15 countries now in your network's economic orbit. Populations totaling over 1 billion people living under conditions you helped design. They vote, they protest, they believe they have choice. Your surveillance network is total. Governments, corporations, media organizations, every communication that matters, you see. You know about decisions before they're announced. You know about plans before they're executed. A leak. Someone inside the 12 is talking. You don't know who. The briefing says federal eyes are watching your gatherings more closely. The guests who attend. The conversations. A crack. You sit at the round table and study each face. 11 people. One of them is talking. The paranoia is new. You haven't felt it in years, in decades. It feels like a foreign emotion in a body that forgot it. Level 10, the Illuminated, complete. From your island, you don't manage one country anymore. You manage continents, shifts in global influence, the movement of billions of dollars, the rise and fall of governments. The planet is your operating territory. World leaders fly to your summit. They sit in your room. They discuss wars that haven't started yet, peace deals that will shape generations, technologies that will define the next century. And the world has no idea this meeting is happening. The chessboard is the entire planet. Every piece is a variable you can move. A government here, a war there, a famine managed, a peace engineered. You play 3 moves ahead of every player because you see the whole board. You decide which famines receive relief and which ones don't. This is not metaphor. This is logistics. The decision is made based on strategic utility, not human suffering. That consideration left some time ago. You decide which technologies humanity receives and which ones stay locked away, because releasing them too early disrupts the systems that keep your network in control. You are the gatekeeper of human progress. You see the helicopters from your island window, closer than before. FBI, Interpol. They're building something. The protection network is being tested in new ways.
For the first time in years, you run a contingency calculation. You activate every layer of protection simultaneously. Calls to judges, calls to directors, calls to senators. The network fires, but the response feels slower than it used to be. Something has changed in the structure. Level 11, the Grandmaster. Complete. A lab needs funding. The research is dangerous. You know exactly how dangerous because you've read every classified brief on its potential. You provide the funding. Sign the approval. Move on. A virus escapes. Maybe it's an accident. Maybe it's not. The world shuts down. Economies collapse. Governments declare emergency powers. And you, sitting in your mansion, watching the news, give one small nod. Billions of lives are disrupted. Supply chains collapse. Mental health crises multiply. Children lose years of education. Elderly people die isolated. The strategic goal is achieved, and you are at the exact center of it all. Vaccine contracts worth hundreds of billions. Tracking infrastructure sold to 40 governments. Digital currency systems installed in 23 nations. Every crisis you create, you also profit from. This is the business model. You watch the death toll on the news. Millions. You don't look away. That's important. You don't look away. You watch it with the same expression you watch stock tickers. Data. Variables. Outcomes. Wealth consolidated. Power centralized. Control tightened at every level, from local government to international institution. The crisis achieved in 18 months what would have taken 30 years of normal operation. Efficient. You're sitting in your mansion, watching the news, and then you hear it. Outside, helicopters, close. Your security team's voice on the radio, urgent, not calm. The front door. And then, sirens. You stand. You run the calculation in real time. The judges, the directors, the senators. The protection should hold. It always holds. But the helicopters are on the property now, and something feels different. Final. The front door explodes open. FBI, Interpol, U.S. Marshals. They move through your mansion like a controlled flood. Fast, professional, unstoppable. And for the first time in your entire life, at this level, you are powerless. Your hands go up. It's automatic. The body remembers vulnerability, even when the mind has forgotten it. The power leaves your posture in real time. You are, again, just a man in a room. Metropolitan Correctional Center, Manhattan. Maximum security isolation. Your lawyers are already working. Judges are being called. Prosecutors are being pressured. You'll be out in days. You've seen this before. You've done this before. Your cell door opens. It's not the guard. It's someone in a uniform. But something is wrong immediately. The posture, the timing, the way they close the door behind them. You start to speak. You back against the wall. For the first time since level 1, you are afraid. Genuinely, completely, physically afraid. And you understand, in the final seconds of clarity, that the Illuminati protects its own. Until it doesn't. You served your purpose. Your time is up. The cell is empty now. The door is closed. On the floor, the original card. The one from the mailbox. The one that started everything. And written below the original text, in different handwriting, 7 words. No one escapes the eye. No one.